Hey, how's it going? Welcome back. It's been about 18 months since we last spoke, so we're going to go ahead and call this Season 3. I've recorded this intro now over 100 times, and you and I both hate it. So if you enjoy, leave a thumbs up. If you don't enjoy, comment, let me know. Both of you have to subscribe. In this episode, Hobbs and I discuss defining a simulation, the general state of affairs in the world, as well as life in general. I've said general twice now, so I hate this intro just as much as you. Have a good one. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Yeah, sorry, I got the page up here.
Go ahead and, we're live. That's going on the intro. I don't know how to do an intro.
A lot of logistics work, optimization, stuff, a lot of probability and statistics and math kind of all work into that.
On a program called Chocolate University.
Yo, Winston, how did you get those quads of yours? I lived in South Korea for about 8 years.
Nobody saw that coming. That's going to be on the intro. Nothing against people who smoke pot and skip class. That's how we lost a whole bunch of episodes.
I just studied in Dubai. I was going around with one of my friends in this Lamborghini.
Bad feeling about this.
Hello and welcome to the Lifr Podcast.
That's going out of bounds, dude.
Thomas Morstead to get this one started, and we are underway here on EA.
So you graduate in May?
I graduate this May, correct.
With finance econ or finance, what did you say?
Major finance, minor econ.
Weren't you going to do accounting?
Yes, originally I was going to do accounting, because my sister majored in accounting and minored in finance, so I'm like,
yeah,
easy. It just makes sense then. But I took my first accounting class and I hated it.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm shocked it's not automated. I'm shocked.
Yeah,
it's not
that's
automated
probably
yet.
it's not, maybe just one person overseeing, but really, I hated it. I did not enjoy any moment of it, and I always have enjoyed econ, and I realized econ just goes just as well with finance, and that actually gives me possibilities to do stuff in econ, with a career path, without having necessarily a econ major. So I was happy with that.
Why didn't you like accounting?
Sort of like what you said. It seemed like it felt something that just should be automated. I felt like it was a waste of my time. It felt very boring and very repetitive, and I just pictured myself doing something like that, as a career, and it it's just awful. It was just so repetitive, and then they treat it like it's so hard and stuff like that when it's really not that hard.
Yeah,
and
I thought it was pretty simple.
They want you to get accounting degrees, and I'm like, you could literally teach degrees. My sister just got her master's, and I'm like, and then accountants go out and don't actually make much money, because I feel like you could teach someone right out of high school a few hours a week course, and in a few weeks they could be part of your accounting team.
Yeah, especially if you just wanted them to do accounting.
Yeah.
But because it has so much to do with
nowhere
taxes.
near what you even pay accountants. Yeah, I understand the tax part of it. You got to make sure that's all right, but you could have literally people just do that and pay them less.
Yeah, I feel that.
But I love econ, and I'm happy I switched because I really enjoy that.
Did you get that? Okay, cool.
Damn, I was hoping so.
Yeah, dude, tell me about the simulation. Good transition.
Right?
For everybody who doesn't know, this is the first time we recorded this. This definitely was not recorded 2 hours ago with bad audio. And the Lifr Podcast is actually... Yeah, the Lifr Podcast has never had a misrecording whatsoever. So, everything we've ever recorded, perfect, spot on, it's straight up.
Yep. And it has been uploaded. We have no things that we recorded that have not been uploaded.
Absolutely, 120%, man. 120%. That is straight facts. That's what you call that? You call it straight facts. So, but anyways,
yeah, exactly.
Off stream, in a different universe, we were talking about the simulation.
Yeah, which, it could have been just a simulation, so how do we know, right? So basically, my favorite analogy of it is something that Elon Musk brought up. I know he's not the most educated individual on this particular subject and all that, so he may not be the most reliable source, but he just brought up the idea of it that I really liked. It's that simulations could be really tied to video games. How 40 years ago, the best, most advanced games we had was Pong. 2 sticks, a little ball, back and forth, and that was revolutionary. That was awesome. In today's standards, like, it just is absolutely nothing. Like, the technology we use to run the first moon landing, all that stuff, like, it seems so minuscule to us now. So it's not out of the realm. I know it's just starting with like VR and realistic games like GTA. So like every time you look at a game like that, you're like, wow, these graphics look so real. So it's not out of the realm of thought to think
I don't know if I
20
feel like
years
that.
from now-
I mean,
Well,
I look at most video
particularly,
games and I'm like, those graphics are dog shit.
On second down, Taylor.
But of course, I'm playing on
but you
Xbox.
always- Yeah, and I'm always, you're comparing them to, I compare them to graphics of games I've already played before. Like, when I looked at GTA 5, I compared them to GTA 4 graphics. I'm like, wow, what a jump. So the idea is it's not out of the realm of thought that 30, 20, 40 years from now, we'll have games that are so realistic, maybe including VR, that you can't really tell if you're in real life or not. And
Okay,
that could
well,
be
let me pose this to you. What if we're already there? Because, I mean, you look at people who, alright, touchy subject here, and you'll get why there's a pun intended there, porn. If you watch a lot of porn, it really fucks with your actual IRL sex life. Like, badly.
Yeah.
And you'll be people who are like...
I've not like read into them, but I've seen studies on that.
Well, I mean, you'll have people in their 20s who like have issues having sex with like real people because it's not as like good.
Have you ever seen
or
the
it's
movie
not what
Don
they're used to. Have you seen the movie? What?
Don John.
No. What's it about?
It's actually a movie a few years ago. That's literally on this topic. It's a nice guy. He's like an Italian in New York. Got a great girlfriend. Great life.
That was probably
like,
not a good
good.
accent. Yeah.
he likes porn so much more than he likes sex with his girlfriend. And like his girlfriend thought it was like cheating on him. But like he's like, porn is so much better than sex. And like he's like the fantasy of it, all this stuff. Because he's like, actually sex, he's like, I don't get this. This doesn't happen. This doesn't happen. I don't like and it's a whole movie about it and him struggling with this.
Dude, I was thinking.
I know it was a great movie.
I was wondering a couple weeks ago if porn made cucks. Like, did we have cucks before porn? Because if you think about it, if you're watching porn, you're watching another dude fuck some chick. Or you're watching something a lot weirder than that.
I don't know.
You're not involved. And, like, that's the whole point of being a cuck, isn't it? Is that, like, you're not physically involved.
I don't know if
it just seems like
made it, but I think it made it to normalize it. To where it doesn't feel as weird. So, because, like, now you think of it, you're like, oh, no, I'd never do that, but if you grew up watching porn your whole life and your wife really wants this and should like suggest this, like you may feel more likely to say
if my wife
yes
suggests that shit, she can get the fuck out.
She might be able to.
What do you mean? Dude, fuck you. That's such a bullshit touchdown.
I like to thank my family and all the monsters I drank in 6th grade to get good at men. But basically, with the I don't know where we left off with the simulation thing.
You're talking about porn.
But you did say, yeah. But you did say that basically, like, how do we know? Like we haven't already done that.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, as in, like, if like that's something we just discussed, or like the porn thing. Not even throw out the cuck thing. Let's say that's not even a thing.
Yeah.
But in the porn idea of it, like, aren't those people already living in a simulation? Even if, like, it does, because the simulation doesn't necessarily have to be 100% a simulation, right? It could be like 60% a simulation. It's still a simulation. And so from that standpoint, if you're looking at, like, any sort of people who are having their reality altered by something that's not real, we're all living in a simulation.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing of the simulation theory, though, is that we would never be able to know if we're in our base reality. So we think this is real life now, but what if we're actually already in a simulation? And part of that is we'll never be able to know if we're in that reality in the first place. And then that just gets further and further as we have the technology to create simulations that are so real. Because if we have the technology to create these simulations, then we're like, wait, what if we were in base reality, we went into a simulation, and then we went into another one, and then you get lost and like, I don't know where I am, where I've been.
Like sex robots.
And you just don't know. Yeah, and you just don't know what reality is anymore, and you just start to accept whatever you're in. You've seen Inception, right?
Yeah.
So, like, at the end when he spins his, like, memento, whatever, and you don't know if it falls or stays up, that's sort of, even if he's in a dream or not, he's accepted the fact that he's happy where he's at. He doesn't care if it's real, he doesn't care if it's not.
You think that makes it not like a simulation? Because even on my argument, you can go even further and say, like, we live in cities that are, like, peaceful and there's no war going on and we don't have to fight for food and we don't have to do any of these things that are difficult that were associated with life even just 50 or 100 years ago. And so in a way, we're kind of living in a simulation, but we accept it as base reality. So, like, does that... Oh, fuck. Does that make it base reality? Like, is base reality relative?
I think that's a really good argument. Like, who am I? Maybe you are in a simulation, but maybe you're just as happy here as you would ever want to be. Even if you find out you're not in the base reality, you just rather stay here.
And would that make it base reality? I think that's my question.
I think it would for that person. Because even though you're like, oh, this isn't real reality, well, I'm happy here. Even if it's not, I enjoy my life. I don't know what my life will be outside of this reality. I choose to stay here. So I think it could easily be base for whoever individual wants it to be.
So is with that though, do you think that there is a real base reality, or are they all relative? Is there an ultimate truth?
I don't know.
See, I would like to think there is, but that's
I would love
because
to
I like to think
is,
there is. Does that mean it's not true?
Yeah. If the simulation thing is right, then even if you think you got to base reality, how do you know you're not at the top tier, the first base reality? You just get in a loophole and start freaking yourself out.
Yeah, so you can make the whole like DMT argument, where it's like, you know, we see the world around us as tools, really. We don't really see we don't see like a tree. We see like what can we do with a tree. If we don't see the use of the tree, we don't really see it.
Yeah.
It's like solar energy. Solar energy has always existed, but it hasn't.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I feel that. I think that's a really good point.
But yeah, that's different though, because like just because you're living in a reality where solar energy isn't used, if it still exists, it's still the same as if you used it, really, as far as this goes, because it's the same reality, right?
Yeah.
So you still you could use it, you just don't have the tech. So I guess that's like a self-defeating argument. I don't know. I'm not smart enough for that shit.
It's hard.
Did I get the ball? I didn't get the ball first,
point.
right?
I got the ball.
Sick. All right, we're gonna win this game.
So
Alright.
entertaining first half, and now
That was
I
the
went out of
first time
bounds.
I've had a lead.
the offense lining up first.
This has not
you have
happened before.
You have a
I did not have a
lead.
16-0 lead.
Oh yeah, never before.
At any
Definitely
point.
not like an hour ago. Dude, And tell you this for sure, there are people in California that are living in a simulation.
I genuinely believe that. Even if, like, throw the simulation theory out, whatever, and you just, like, poke fun at it and say this is base reality, that we're in base reality, I definitely believe there are people that treat it as if they're in a simulation.
Oh yeah, definitely,
and, like, live
dude.
in their own dream world in relative to themselves.
Well, it's like if you're homeless in San Francisco, there's all the resources in the world. You can go get free community college. You can get an associate's degree. They'll give you a cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
They'll give you housing. They'll give you money for food. If you want, really, like if you wanted it, they'll bus you to a different city. It's probably not even that difficult to get, but it's like there's all these resources out there, but they don't utilize them. And for those people, I don't know, a lot of people say it's like a mental health crisis or whatever. I think it's more of just like those people don't have a purpose. Like, why should they try? You know, because it's like if they tried all they wanted to, they're not going to be able to afford the $2,000 or $3,000 minimum rent.
Yeah, which is crazy because I think about it. Here, I live in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom place, and I pay $680 a month.
Yeah, but I mean, you're splitting that.
Yeah,
So
I am
it's
splitting
1,000.
that, but also, it's $680 a month.
Total?
2-bedroom, 2-bath. Yes.
So you're paying $300?
I'm paying less because my parents give me a certain amount a month for rent, and me and Sam just split what's on top of that. So we pay like $120 to $150 a month tops.
I hate you.
Yeah.
I pay $1,000 a month for one room.
There's all part
And
of the plan.
yeah, one room. and a shared bathroom.
But also, I'm living in Northwest Arkansas, but it's just crazy how I'm considered living in an average apartment because there are definitely nicer.
What floor are you on?
First floor.
How many floors are there?
2.
Okay. Well, I can tell you here, you're only allowed to have 2 floors.
Really?
Yeah, you're not allowed to have a 3rd floor. It's literally outlawed in my city, and in a lot of not San Francisco, but in a lot of California. They want to have shorter buildings. Like if you wanted to build a high-rise in San Francisco, it's going to take you at least 5 years to get the permits.
You think that has anything to do with the fact that they built such a touristy look of the city that I don't want it to change?
No, I think it has to do with. I mean, it's maybe actually that could be part of it, but it
I have
raises.
not looked at the time on the.
Yeah, it synthetically raises real estate prices, is what it does. Because like if you turn San Francisco into New York, the homeless crisis would probably disappear. Just because yeah,
New York
like, seriously.
has a large homeless, but I've visited New York.
But New York also has high rises.
Yep.
And in San Francisco, I mean, there are some, but they're like some of them are even like the building outside is deteriorating because you can't fix it because it's like a historical landmark or some bullshit like that. And so if you want to even fix your building, it's like a process. You have to get permits just to fix it, which I'm sure you have to do anywhere, but here for some reason it's extra pain in the ass. There's not even commercial developers. I can tell you in my town, they've been looking for a commercial real estate developer to put on the city council for over a year and a half. There's none that live here. They don't even live here.
Yeah, why would they want to be there? That seems like absolute like career suicide for them.
Well, if they could do one building, they would make like a lot of money. Like a lot of money. Like if you sell one house here, like if you sell the average house in my city, it's like $25K is the commission. So like on a commercial real estate deal, you're gonna be doing
now put that in terms
something that's like 10 times that.
For like Northwest Arkansas, $25K in San Francisco compared to how much would that be in Northwest Arkansas?
A 3-count chicken strip meal, no 4-count chicken strip meal at Chick-fil-A, exactly how it is with no upgrades, is $10 flat. In my city. I'm sure it's more in San Francisco.
That's so ridiculous.
Yeah,
I get it. But...
It's honestly pretty bad. Well, like BART, like the Bay Area Rapid Transport. Yeah. If I want to go to the city, it's like $8 each way. There's a bridge.
Not even New York is that bad.
Yeah, there's a bridge. Well, that's like a 30-mile trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it's still $16 a day, and if you work an hourly job, you can't afford to live in a city. And so, let's say you're paid $15 an hour, you spend the first hour you're at work working just for your travel before taxes. So it's like there's no shot. Like if you're poor in California, you got no shot, dude. You're just fucked.
So, I assume part of everything being the way it is why you dislike California.
A little bit. A lot of it's the people. So like whenever there's a really great thing, right? The first generation of people is the ones who made it, and the rest of the people are usually leeches. This is part of my dislike of the university system. And that anything good after a certain amount of time, it's just going to be all the original people are going to be pushed out, and all the people who are good at talking are going to take over. And that's without a doubt what's happened with the city of San Francisco. It's funny because you have, it's just bad, man. I mean, you have people who've been trying to build housing for like 10 years, and you have people within the city protesting it because of oppression or whatever they want to claim, and then you have city officials who are blocking the bills because they want to get reelected. And so there's one guy who's been working on it for like 10 years, and he's probably going to end up going bankrupt just trying to renovate his building and turn them from like a laundromat into a residential building because they don't want the neighborhood to change, quote unquote.
And everyone there has master's degrees, no?
Everybody here has master's degrees, yeah. So in the data science course I took, now granted it is data science, so you're going to see on average a higher level of education, but it was something like, I don't know, maybe 70% of the class had at least a master's. There was 5 people in my class with PhDs out of 30. 5 out of 30 had PhDs. And then, let's say, another 12 had their masters. And then, it was touchdown. I'm going to accept that. But yeah, no, that's a data science program, but when you see just the average person around here, like the job requirements is have a master's for any position usually. Even the analyst positions, like just a data analyst position, they want you to have a master's.
That is insane compared to here where I don't know, there
you still need a college degree. I think that's kind of part of the cancer.
Yeah,
it's just everybody's accepted. It's funny. I was talking to it about my dad a few nights ago, but it's like, so he was talking about how ridiculous it is that some of the people that he knows who want to like publish a book. He knows somebody who wants to publish a book, right?
Yeah.
And he was talking about how ridiculous it is that they're expecting to get in contact with some sort of publisher and then put it in print. Right? And he was just saying, why don't they go on Amazon and publish it themselves, right? Whereas at the same time, he's taking courses on Udemy that he could get for free on YouTube, right? And like, Udemy courses are great. I've seen a few. I've never taken one because I don't pay for shit. Good luck ever getting me to pay for education. Good luck. But it's just like, I don't think most people realize where the world is. And I think that's a lot of the problem. I think that's a lot of the issues, is that almost even the course I took, the data science course, you could get all of that for free online. And that's a cutting edge $20,000 course for, like, it's more expensive than college. The course is more expensive than anything. It was the most expensive education I've ever paid for. The only reason I went was for connections. I could have gotten all of it for free online. And that's cutting edge. That's the highest paying field. Like if you get a job after that course, the minimum you'll take is $50 an hour, which is about $100K.
Yeah.
And
Which
so,
is, it's a little crazy because, like, that's such a good alternative, but so many people just gawk at you. It's like, oh, you didn't actually go to school and pay for it and get a piece of paper that says you learned the stuff instead of just actually just learning the stuff. And
Yeah, well,
they'll
it's-
just discount you completely.
well, it's institutional. It's the institutionalization. It's like, it's the whole thing. Like, I never believed in institutionalized racism, right? But like seeing how ingrained the university system is into people, what people think is success, it's like I'm probably wrong about institutionalized racism.
Yeah.
Just because, like,
It's hard to see when it's been there forever. And
Yeah,
you
well,
can't
it's-
see how
it's
it
just
originated.
yeah. all the college classes, everybody that, I mean, when you want to study for a course, are you going over the material or are you just Googling it? Like, you're probably just Googling it.
I Google Quizlet, Study Blues, stuff like that.
Yeah. Your college doesn't even want you looking at that stuff.
No, they
so
don't want me
it's-
to.
I think there's just a disconnect between what is real and what people want to be real. And so I think for that reason we are living in a simulation, right? Because it's like, if education is free, if the most cutting edge machine learning, AI, whatever media buzzword you want to throw out is free on GitHub right now, with YouTube videos to walk you through the entire thing, you can get your curriculum graded by Harvard for free on edX.
Yeah.
But getting a college degree is the most important thing, according to anyone graduating high school.
7 yards to go on
Yeah,
second
and
down.
a lot of them think that because their parents grew up and told them their whole life that this is the most important thing.
Well, I
Like, I
think
know
part of it
me and my
is too.
parents
It's
always
it's a
have to-
reality. It's a reality,
Yeah.
you know, because it's like if you do want to get a job, if everyone believes something, is it true? And so that's where I get to the what is base reality, because, you know, if everyone believes something, does that make it base reality, or is it still bullshit? Because like right now, I can tell you that the only reason I don't have a job paying at least $150,000 is because I don't have a degree. That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. It's not an opinion. I've been told that by people who would readily pay me that much. So it's like, they're like, if you want to go back to college and get a degree, like, we'll absolutely hire you. We think you'd be a great fit. But you don't have a degree.
No, I know someone
And like,
did the learning like you did, like other course stuff like that, and they are just as good as their field as someone who has a degree. And he was having trouble getting a job, so he just put on his resume that he had a degree from a university. They never checked or anything, and he.
I can tell you that right now. Nobody
ever.
ever checks. Nobody checks.
No.
Nobody checks, because
But
a lot of the people I've had interviews
one
with
gives them
assume
time
that
to
I have a
pay.
degree just because it says University of Arkansas on my resume. I just put finance, economics, and then what I did for like the 2 years I was there, and they just assume I have a degree. Which, like, let them assume whatever they want.
But yeah, he puts it on his resume. He's like, he just did it, and his first interview with him saying he had a degree, he got the job.
Damn. Oh my god, how did I whiffed that? No. Fuck.
But I thought that was just incredibly insane. And the thing is,
but
they'll never be able to tell. It's not like he faked his way into a job he wasn't qualified for. He said he had a piece of paper, so now he could do the job he was already qualified for.
Yeah, well, it's the, yeah, exactly what you just said. But that's my issue with California, is I came out here because I thought it would be the opposite of that, because that's what it was. That's what it was 30, 40 years ago, right? It was, hey, I'm going to play with the computer, all of a sudden, boom, I'm rich. Who gives a fuck if I have a college degree? I'm rich. But it's
And California was granted
transitioned.
to be like that.
It's transitioned. It's not that anymore. I can tell you that. It's not that anymore. I mean, maybe you'll see 1 out of every 100 entrepreneurs say, yeah, I don't like the college system, or I don't have a degree. Most of them actually don't like the college system, but they all have degrees. And so it's like, do you really not like the college system, or do you just want to sound cool?
Yeah.
But it's fascinating. I don't know. We'll see how it works itself out. I think obviously these things take time, because right, there was a time where it was a legitimate cause, right? That like that was the way to do it. But then all of a sudden, boom, the internet came out. Then all of a sudden, boom, cell phones came out. Then all of a sudden, boom, easily accessible internet came out.
There was a time that a degree meant a lot. Like, it's crazy how, like, the older people of our generation, or I hate using the term generation and stuff like that, but
Using the term what?
people older than us, generation. I
Gen
hate the
X, bro.
generations talk.
Gen Z, bro.
Um,
Millennials,
I
dog.
hate the
Let me label you and put you in a box, bro.
yeah.
Let me put you in a box because it makes me more comfortable about my shitty life.
Yeah. But there's so many.
Oh, baby!
1 yard line, yeah.
No, fuck! No! No! I don't want
There
it.
was a time where almost everybody that I heard of is like, I'm the first of my family to go to college. I'm the first of my family to go to college. I'm the first of this to go to college. I'm the first of this to go to college. Like,
Well, nowadays anybody
now,
can.
I know, but I
Because,
think
like, I'll give you a
5
loan,
years
fuck
from
it.
now, it's gonna be like everybody in my family goes to college. Literally everybody.
Yeah, I can see that.
And that's when it's sort of like, because we already have so many people that have degrees applying for jobs. And the more people
What's like
get them, the more like,
what is
okay,
it?
now
What
I
even
need-
is a degree?
now I
Like,
need
what's
a
the
master's to
standard?
stand out.
Because like I can tell you right now, there was somebody in my data science class who had a math or who had a finance degree, and they didn't know linear algebra, which is the fundamental of machine learning. If you don't know linear algebra, get the fuck out of machine learning, right? But they went to a great college, had never even heard of the word linear algebra, and so it's like what did they teach you? And so it's like, well, that's what they consider a finance degree, and so it's like an opinion. It's an opinion. It's, well, for our finance degree, you don't need linear algebra. Well, for ours, you do need linear algebra. Well, for ours, you need calculus 3. Well, for ours, you only need calculus 2. And so I think on that hasn't ripped apart the system is quite a statement about the power of the system.
Yeah. I had that revelation this year. I always thought, going to school, that they'd teach me, like, I'm going in for finance. I thought I'd get a like official, like, this person knows finance, finance degree. I was very comfortable with that. Then I realized, while I was making sure I had all my plans in order for the next 2 years and everything like that, I'm taking my classes this semester, which are all like the ones I'm supposed to take, and like 1 or 2 electives and 1 for my minor. And then I planned out my classes for next semester, and I thought about it. They're like all open-ended classes. Like, I'm taking a class.
What's the
about
highest
this,
level math?
But
What's the highest level math they're
level
requiring you
I
to
had
take?
to take was survey of calculus.
Oh my god.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm sorry. But like, holy shit, dude. If you want to get the same exact degree at University of Texas, Austin, you have to go to Cal 3.
Yeah, I took
Cal 3.
Now I may have taken like calculus 1. Like but the thing is, I was done with my math classes like a year and a half ago. And in my before I even started like finance classes, I was done like a year and a half ago.
That's nutty.
Yeah.
I'm about to beat you right
And
here.
I also think
On the other hand. Oh, come on, hold that. Sick. What were you saying?
I just had that revelation though. Like
What was it?
I thought I'd be like certified for finance. Like I'd be able to take any job in finance and feel comfortable. And I realized I get to I'm just taking individual classes in finance for specific things. There's a 90% chance I go to my first job and be like, yeah, I have a degree in finance, and they just have to teach me everything that I need to know right then and there.
Yeah.
And I only got the piece of paper so they could give me the job, not so they could teach me finance.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point.
And I'm just like,
that's why there's
just seems
interns.
Crazy. And that's why
Come
I
on,
think the
crossover,
internship
touchdown. Bitch.
Oh crap! That's why I thought the internship to official job was a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
Because
Oh yeah,
then,
that thing that we
you guys
definitely
aren't
weren't
gonna
talking
be-
about like a year or like an hour, 2 hours ago.
Yeah,
Or
definitely.
it's the current position that I'm looking at is a. Oh god damn it! Oh no.
It's setting the
no.
scenes, you know.
Is that it would be like an internship, but it could be like a multi-year internship.
Because they don't.
And it's
these
at a
people aren't gonna
really
actually learn the stuff I
respected
need for a
company.
job. Yeah, these people aren't going to learn the things I need for a job. I'll get them as an internship so I can teach them the stuff as they learn, like the small basic stuff. They graduate and they're just familiar with the company, so teaching them everything I need to teach them becomes much easier.
Wasn't that kind of what companies already do? I mean, a lot of companies you go to, especially for finance, you get a promotion after 2 years. Which, like,
I think a lot.
getting a
Yeah.
promotion after 2 years? What? I did an interview
Yeah.
at Amazon for an entry-level software development engineer. I could stay in that job my entire career and never get a promotion.
Yeah.
Because there's only 4 levels. It's like the entry level, and then you go straight to manager. And so they care a lot more about can you do the job. I don't even think they looked at my resume, but it was that was interesting. That was a really good interview, actually. I definitely didn't deserve to get the job based on my performance. So I respect the decision, and I'll try again in 6 months. But it's interesting to see that like they're the big company to go to right now, and you don't get a promotion maybe ever.
Yeah.
But at most traditional companies, you're getting a promotion after like 2 years, and so it's kind of like those first 2 years are your internship.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Another news, you just
Definitely
fucking lost. Oh my
16-point
god!
lead or a 14-point lead. Didn't do that.
I'm the GOAT, dude. I'm goated. Anybody right now, I'll take you one-on-one. Madden, whatever this is.
Madden 17.
Dude, it's yeah, it's crazy, dude. I don't know. What were we talking about? Ironically, it's funny that I forgot it, but having a good memory. We were talking about that a little while
It
ago.
is possibly the worst blessing I think someone could have.
How so? Dude, you got crushed. As far as like
I was a 14-0.
yards per play, dude, I crushed you. Doubled.
Yeah, well, Tyrod Taylor, not the best.
I didn't
passer,
crush
know?
you. I didn't crush you. I smashed you. I didn't crush you. It wasn't that good. Yeah, you that's the last 2 games. You played 1 game off stream, but it's like you level out after the second quarter, bro. Gotta fix that, bro.
I know, I'm choking it up, man. But like the second quarter is mine, like always.
If only you could remember it. Roast.
But as I was saying, having a good memory may quite literally be the worst blessing you could ever have. Professionally, I think it's a great thing. You could remember like the meeting you went to that could have been very important, and I'm assuming I would definitely take notes in an important meeting like that, but I'm assuming that maybe I couldn't that day or something like that. I don't know. I'm very likely to remember every single important detail from that meeting for at least a month's time. And that's just like assuming that I didn't write it down right after the meeting or something like that. But professionally, I think it's a great thing. But just like in personal and day-to-day general life, I really hate it. And it's funny because my roommate has a very, very bad memory. He'll forget things he did this morning or a conversation we had the night before or earlier that day. He'll completely forget.
That's insane, man. Yeah, I mean, I know I have a pretty good memory, but I like to think I have one too, and it just baffles me that some people don't have good memories.
Right?
Like it's like I'll be talking to somebody and they don't remember something from like 6 months ago, and it blows my mind.
and it frustrates me. But like, I don't want to get mad because it's not your fault if you don't actually have the memory for it. But like with my roommate, I'll talk to him about something just randomly, and then I'll bring it up a few hours later or something like that, and he'll be like, "Well, I don't remember any of that." And I'm just like, how do you not remember? How do you not know? I just don't understand how could not just be like fully aware. And so like it frustrates me like that. And then even like simple stuff like watching TV shows.
You gotta invite me again, by the way.
Okay. The Office. Like any TV show I watch.
Dude, I can't watch a TV show twice. Like even The Office, as great as it is, I can't sit there and, like, even Trailer Park Boys, dude, I cannot sit there and watch Trailer Park Boys again. Every single episode I've seen, I just know it. I can't watch it again.
I've watched Trailer Park Boys twice through. I've watched these shows multiple times through, and it gets less enjoyable every time. And not because I remember more every time. I remember all of it always. In the first 30 seconds of any episode of any show, after that 30 seconds, I'll know everything that happens in that episode. I wouldn't have forgotten anything. I'll remember all the details, all of it. So it's like going on the same ride over and over again. It's like law of diminishing returns. And I still get enjoyment out of some of these shows. I've seen American Dad through almost 30 times now. A lot of times I just have it on the background, and I could not pay attention to it as much because I know everything that happens in every aspect. So I could just choose to ignore it and like be fine. But it's just, I wish that my roommate will he'll want to rewatch something like how we just watched that like a year ago or 6 months ago or something like that. And he's like, I don't remember any of it.
Dude, that's the thing. I hate people who watch movies,
like,
because like movies, for some reason, it's even worse with me. If it's a movie, I'll remember like each line. It'll be like line for line. I could go with you, and it's just it's absolutely insane that people don't have that to me. Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah, and I don't want to. It's different committing 30 minutes at a time or 22 minutes at a time on a TV show, but like I've seen this movie so many times. I don't want to commit another hour and a half to something I know every second of, because the whole part of the movie is like watching
who's on the
ride
Texans?
and like enjoying it as it goes. What, you men 17? Your quarterback?
Dude, I don't want to be the Texans.
I don't know who your quarterback is. Maybe Ryan Mallett.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh no! My favorite. It's gonna be the Saints. Fuck it.
You back to the Saints again?
Yeah, dude. Goated. I could play with any team I wanted, but this is the only team I want to play with. To your throwback uniform.
I like the throwback uniform, you know? But it's just, it baffles me. Like, sometimes I think it's awful because I wish I could enjoy some of these things over again. And like I watch It's a Wonderful Life every year, and I still enjoy it. Even though I know every second of it, I enjoy it because I love the meaning, the message, and all that good stuff. And I like try to just force myself.
I was talking to somebody
it.
the other day who says they like don't remember most of their childhood. And like nothing bad happened to them, they just don't remember most of it. Like grade school, they don't remember it. They remember a little bit of high school, and they're like in their late 20s. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I can tell you specific days. I can walk you through specific days of first grade, kindergarten, preschool. Yeah. Let's do it. I can go through the entire thing, start to finish. I remember the day I found out I remember the day I found out about 9/11, and it was not 9/11. It was like 2002 or 2003, and that's like where my real memory starts. But I remember catching my finger on fire when I was 3. I was playing with a walnut. It was at our house in Harahan, Louisiana. Everybody was outside in the back. I was inside. The back door was locked, I remember, because my finger first caught on fire. My first reaction was to go open the door and tell everybody. But that didn't work, so the whole time my finger was burning, and then I stuck it in the fishbowl. which was funny. And then they all acted like I was crazy for trying to roast. I was trying to roast a walnut shell because I thought it'd be cool, and so I was just doing it with my hands because like big balls. And and then after I went to the hospital, I got a bag of marbles that were blue and green. And I was like 3 or 4 years old.
That's crazy. It's weird that I had a situation happen almost exactly like that. I was much younger, and I was I can't remember what age I was. I know it was 100% before I was 5. I think I was like 4. But I was sitting in my dad's car. We were living in Lavaca at the time by Fort Smith before we moved up here and everything like that. And he was doing something outside the car, just getting like loading the truck up or something like that. And I was staring at the cigarette lighter in the car. This one, cars had cigarette lighters and stuff.
The good old days.
What is that? I was like, what is that? So I popped the thing open and I stuck my finger in there.
Mood.
And it started burning. I'm like, wait, my finger's burning. I pulled my finger out and it was like really red and it hurt. And I was like, oh shit. And my dad was freaked out. He's like, you okay? I'm like, it hurts, but I think I'm okay. And we went back home and I stuck my hand into a bowl with some ice and water. And I had a Lunchables, and it was one of the Lunchables with the ham, cheese, and like the Ritz type crackers. And I talked to my mom about it. Like, I remember this thing, and I know I was like 4.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how like some people miss that, because I'm like, not only like I think it's crazy because like you don't have that memory to be able to remember that far, but I think it's crazy because you're missing out on memories.
Yeah, it's like your there's something wrong with them evolutionally.
Yeah,
like it's like you're broken. Yeah. There's something fundamentally wrong with you. is the way I see it. But I'm known to be harsh on people. So yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that, but fuck it. There's something wrong with them fundamentally. If you don't have a good memory like that, it's like I don't know what's going on. I almost wonder if people intentionally forget it, either like because they don't think it's important, or they just, I don't know. It'd be very interesting to see if like people who don't see themselves as important forget things more often. That'd be very interesting.
I would like to like hear that and like see that.
Well, because I think whenever I have a memory of myself, I'm always in third person. Like I could switch into first if I wanted to, but the way I default remember it is in third person. And so I see everyone who was there. I see the entire event as it laid out. I can see it from other people's how they saw it. And that's actually really messed me up, because looking back on stuff, I can go, yeah, I do understand why they acted that way or how they felt that way, which sucks because I can't blame other people for my problems. But yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's part of life, I guess. That's the way they say it. I don't know.
I remember my first time I burned someone.
Whoa, hold on, what?
And not like
the first time. The first time. Okay.
But like this, the first time I was like, was basically like, you're trash. It was 2nd grade Miss Bradbury's class in Creek Elementary, and yeah, no, I didn't get my first burn until I was a little older. But I remember sitting there, and I turned. It was like one of the times tables that you had to do during those days, times whatever. And as I was walking away, a girl was walking towards me, and it was a very narrow passageway, and we were face to face basically. And I went left. She went right, like we both stepped into the same direction of each other over and over again. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
And then she was like freaking out, and I'm like, okay, you go right, I'll go right. And she's like, but then we're just gonna run into each other. And then we do it, and I step right, she steps right, and then as I walk past her, I hear a, oh. Like, I was just like astounded, and I'm just like, are people that dumb? And I was in 2nd grade. Like,
did you say that out loud?
There, like, no, not at all.
Oh, okay. So you didn't actually roast her?
No.
That would have flamed
But,
her,
like-
right on the spot. I remember
Oh, yeah, that would've been
first grade
too
when I
far.
first moved to Nebraska. Somebody called me gay. I called him a fucking faggot, which, like, looking back, probably not the nicest thing to say. But it's like I didn't even know what it meant, honestly. But it's like it was my first response is like, well, fuck you. And yeah, that was very interesting. I loved Nebraska, dude. Nebraska was fucking sick. But yeah, honestly, I don't even think that's what it meant. When I first found out about homosexuality, I thought it only happened in China. I'm not joking. I seriously thought it only happened in China. Yeah, I remember telling that to somebody, and they thought I was stupid. So yeah. And that's funny because I'm from New Orleans, so it's like I knew gay people from the time I was born.
Yeah.
But it's just like I thought they were normal. I thought there was a difference. I thought there was like, okay, people who like people that look like them. I didn't know it was like a thing. I just thought it was, oh, okay, some people are like that. I didn't know we had to label it. And so when we labeled it, I had heard about it going on in China, because in China it was like illegal or something at the time.
Probably.
And yeah, probably. And so I'm like, oh, weird people in China. But I didn't realize, it didn't connect to my head that they were doing the exact same thing people I had known my entire life were doing. Because they called it a word, which is honestly, that's the one thing I'd say I struggle with is vocabulary. It's like, I'll go all day talking to you about machine learning algorithms, but when you say the actual name of the algorithm, I can't recall it. But like, if you want to talk about the actual ins and outs, the functionality, what happens next, why, how you would program it, how you'd implement it, yeah, I can go round for round with just about most intermediate people out there. But once they start throwing out the actual names, I'm lost.
I understand that.
Maybe I'm stupid. I don't know.
You should remember it.
Yeah, well, it's like I don't know. That's why I've always hated school, is because like I could do everything they wanted me to do. I just don't know what to call it.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know. I can't give you the actual name, and so I would suck at multiple choice questions, and I'd be like, teacher, I can explain to you every single thing that's going on around here, and they're like, but you didn't fill in the bubble. And I'm just like, you have such a low IQ, it hurts. I think I told that to a teacher once. Honestly, they probably deserved it.
I could see it.
Yeah, I'm the type of person that would just say that. But, you know, it's whatever. Just like, I don't get people who like
teacher fired.
People who like labeling things and putting words on things, I just don't think they're that smart, because it's, if you think about it, everything is everything, right? Nothing is nothing.
Yeah.
And nothing is everything,
Nothing
and everything
matters.
is nothing. Maybe or maybe not. It depends on which version of reality you're in. But then again, can you determine which version of reality you're in?
Big
F.
picture, it only matters relative to you, right? In the chats, boys. Yeah, he said F when he got sacked. F in the chat, boys.
Everyone who needed to get it got it.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a timeout.
You take a timeout. You trying to ice me?
No, I did not like my formation.
I mean, you're not gonna like your formation no matter what, because I'm getting the first down. So.
Oh, you're getting the first down?
Oh, absolutely. Without a doubt, I got about a I'd say about a 95% chance of this one.
All right.
Just given any given Sunday. Then I got my backups in. I got my backups in, dude. Touchdown.
Touchdown?
Yeah.
I mean, probably.
That's what I wanted.
But
I wanted that to happen, so.
yeah. I'm so worried about covering the middle of the field.
I know. It's unfortunate, isn't it?
That's very unfortunate.
Oh, I was hoping that he'd turn around and hit stick you in time.
Yeah, but you didn't, so who's that?
That's because I don't know how to play the game,
What do you mean? This is only your... I mean, I guess it's true. It's only your second game.
Yeah, in the last 3
Did not
years,
play.
2 years.
No, yeah, we definitely didn't play some earlier.
Yeah.
When we
Without a
first
doubt.
tried to... Not try to record this. Yeah, that never happened.
Right. So yeah, this is, oh god. Yeah, dude, I don't know. Life's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
It's very predictable, though. I would say that's the one argument for the simulation is like life is so predictable. Just like
even with the variables, and the variables are just random individuals that like come up, basically.
that's one way to look at it. But it's just like
It's like the outcome. It's like the outcome is decided. The people are the variables. And
yeah, that makes sense. I mean, occasionally you have like the random, but that doesn't really happen in America.
No,
We've
the randoms
kinda-
are probably like determined, you know.
Well, the random's like getting shot. But like, if you
Yeah,
think about
but that
it,
could-
even in all
that
the
could
shootings,
be
like I only know like I know less than 5 people who've been shot to death. So like, you know, what are the odds I get shot? Not very much. And for most people, I don't think most people know anybody who's been shot to death in America, at least.
I know one person, and it's probably someone on your list as well, and it happened in Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for like most people, yeah, like still you only know one.
Yeah, but
And it's like, you know.
it was such a shock to me too. I mean, a shock as in I didn't expect it to happen, but I knew like it was always a possibility.
Nah,
Very
I don't know.
weird.
There's been some times where I'm surprised I haven't been shot, but we probably shouldn't talk about those on stream, so.
Well, that's also part of your privilege, right?
Oh, we're not talking about that right now, Hobbs. We're not talking about that right now. It's the level of argument, the level of calmness I have for that argument is much higher than most people, but limited.
I know.
What we were talking about before we started this, though, was like I was saying I don't think there's much going on in the news. Like, I can't remember a single significant thing that's happened in the last 2 years. Like, do you know any significant news stories that have happened in the last 2 years?
Events that are we're talking about. Can't think of any, and I know some people will probably think that's extremely offensive because there's been plenty of political news.
I mean,
but that
yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, politics
there's
doesn't
nothing
matter at
notable
all, dude.
I
It's
can
either
think
you're
of.
rich enough to
Yeah.
influence it or you're not. And if you're not rich enough to influence it, shut up because you're a pawn. You're a pawn. That's what you are. If you care, if you watch,
so
like
other than
I feel
that,
so,
I
I
can't
feel
think of
so, I feel so bad for people who watch Fox News every single night, or CNN, or CNBC, or any of them, who even read just political things going on and act like it affects their life. Like, dude, you never had any control over that situation. Unless you make a couple $1 billion, you're never going to have control over that situation, unless you want to run for office. If you want to start a political YouTube channel, maybe you can have some influence. Maybe. But I mean, like, even let's look at it. The crazy AJ guy out of Austin, whose name I'm not going to say because I don't want to be banned from Twitch. He doesn't even have that much influence, and he has like 100 million followers.
Yeah.
Right? He doesn't even have that much influence. 100 million followers.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Most people don't care what he says. He maybe influenced one local election, maybe, but it's like
maybe. And that's
for
like
most
the
people,
optimistic number.
I'll see people go off about like Nancy Pelosi this, Obama that, Trump this. It's like you have no power or
It doesn't.
any.
Why do you care?
You
Why
have
are
no ability to even influence their decisions. Mostly because you're never trying to. You just want to bitch about it. That's most of the reason. But like, I fully believe anybody in America can flip the election for any reason. I mean, you get one or two things, and all of a sudden Bill Clinton plays a saxophone and wins, right?
Boom.
But
you got
boom,
wrecked.
big power moves. Get wrecked, noob.
Yeah.
Don't know the sexy sax. The sexy sax.
I vote.
Dude, speaking of that, even too, going a little bit further, there hasn't been anything really significant happen in quite a while. But I haven't seen anything that I've thought was legitimately funny in years. Like,
No, because humor
maybe.
isn't funny.
Well, no, it's like even the things that anybody thinks is funny. Like, I don't even find offensive jokes funny. It's just like they're kind of boring. Nobody's funny anymore.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
it's not like lasting. Like I'll give a ha-ha, but it's not lasting. There's nothing that's really lasting anymore.
Nothing that sticks with you.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
There used to be stuff that like stuck with me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's hilarious, and I think about it.
Yeah, it's like Jeff Dunham. I remember when I used to watch Jeff Dunham stuff and joke about that stuff for 5 years. You remember?
Yeah, when he was huge, like
when he was huge, dude. I would tell his jokes.
Time.
I would tell his jokes for 5 years straight. But like I'll go to even like a Kevin Hart thing. I went to that Kevin Hart thing. I don't remember a single joke. Obviously, I could tell you what they were, but it's just like I don't think they were that funny. And he's the #1 guy.
Yeah.
And like he's an amazing,
he's
funny, successful, hardworking, fantastic human being, right? But it's like it's
also
not
very
that funny.
Acting.
Yeah. Well, it's like
yeah.
You could go back and I watched like Eddie Murphy Raw or something, and that stuff is still funny.
Yeah.
That stuff is still funny. But like, the top comedian stuff from 5 years ago, it's not funny anymore. It doesn't last.
No,
That's really what I've been thinking about as far as like producing content. If you can produce content that lasts, like you win. But I don't think there's anybody producing lasting content these days. I think it's because it's so easy to make content. Like it's back in the day, you used to have to write a book, and that would take you years. And I just got a roughing the kicker.
It's the second one.
Yeah, but it's like these days you can just talk a book in like a couple months, have some editor publish it, push it out, throw up some news in the New York Times. Think it's like a 24-hour news cycle, sell 1,000 copies, and wazah. Nobody remembers it a year from now. Why do you think that is?
That's incredible.
Do you think it's the lack of? Do you think the quality of content has gone down, or do you think it's the volume, or do you think it's the accessibility, or what do you think it is?
I think it's got to be a little bit of everything. Because just the way everything has evolved, social media, the attention span of everybody, the fact that everyone, even with like the whole Twitter thing, people like to jump from one thing to another so fast.
Dude, I hate Twitter so much.
It's awful. It's
nobody says anything worth listening
garbage.
to. It's like there's nothing worth listening to.
I literally only have one, so I can see when like sports stories break.
Yeah.
Because they go there first. That is the only reason I have one. So I think it's a little bit of that. That created the attention span to where even if something is so incredible, like the whole Amazon rainforest burning down, that whole thing.
That happens every single year.
Yeah. But
everybody forgets about it by the time it comes around next year.
Yeah, but I think if that happened, like the publicity, the whole thing, that happened in 2004, I think we'd be hearing about it for months.
I don't know. I wasn't keeping up with the news in 2004.
Neither was I. But I feel the new modern era and everything like that, the attention span so short, it's going to hop from one thing to another. And then I do think, again, like you said, it's a little bit of it's getting old, mostly because they're running out of like ideas. You think like sitcoms. We've had so many. We've had some great ones. We've had some bad ones. All this stuff.
Dude, sitcoms make me want to blow my brains out. I'm not joking.
How much more can they think of?
Well, there has
like
to be
20
more.
years from now.
It's just I don't think anybody's having any original thoughts. I think there has to be more. There has to be more.
Now they're out of like completely original ideas. At least for now. There'll be more eventually, of course. As like things change and stuff like that.
How much longer do I have to wait, Hobbs? I'm only gonna be alive another 8 years.
I have no idea. Right now, I think it's all they're relying on talent instead of writing and stuff like that, because they're like, well, they've done this 100 times, so let's get really good actors. And really
I don't even think there's anybody with good talent.
People.
I don't even think there's that many people with good talent. I don't think most people realize how hard it is to become talented at something. Like, it is so incredibly difficult,
especially to become
good at anything. Oh, come on, Fleener, you're smarter than that, dog.
Especially in a field that competitive. Acting is extremely competitive.
Yeah.
like Kevin Hart, he's very like talented in his respect. If he wasn't a famous comedian, I don't think he would ever have been able to get into acting. Even as talented as he is, there's so many people that are probably more talented than him that you'll never see on TV because there's such a pool of talent. It's so hard to do anything.
A lot of it these days is they want you to have a following before they invest in you, right?
Yes.
And so people who get followings, right, what do they get? They get people who've never really seen the stuff before, and so they can kind of get away with low-tier comedy. Are you kidding me, bro? Are you?
Wow. That was pretty ridiculous.
I am heated. I am. All right, moving on. Yeah, no, I just think there's a It used to be back in the day, right? The way you get to the top is by working. And you'd have to do it for 20 years. To become a well-known actor, you'd have to be doing acting for 20 years. Now, any 16-year-old with a cell phone can become like some sort of well-known actor. And I think we pay a price for that. Because, like, no offense to 16-year-olds who are considered great actors and making millions of dollars, like, keep getting money, dog. But, you know, it's like, obviously they're not going to be as good as, like, you know, Daniel Craig. Right? Yeah. It's just like you can't.
He doesn't pull in the numbers anymore.
Yeah, because he doesn't have a social media following.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of incredibly talented people that if they restarted their careers right here, right now, and did it the way they did it, from working hard and just trying to work it. Like if Tom Hanks was born right now, I don't think you'd ever hear his name. And he's incredible. But like, and that's assuming he doesn't do any of the social media, he doesn't do any of that, and he just goes and tries to go into acting. I think there's so much like talent, so many just numbers out there that they're like, well, he may be good, but this person has a following, they'll bring in more people, so they're just going to choose him over that, and then he'd give up acting because he wouldn't get anything. That's coming from someone I absolutely love. Tom Hanks. Absolutely incredibly talented. I couldn't imagine not having him in acting life, but I think it's sort of like that. We may have missed out on generational talents due to the fact that following and all this stuff means so much now.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
The best actor to ever do anything could have retired a year ago, and we would have never seen him or heard of him or her. Like we just don't know. And like that, I hate that because like I love cinema and I love movies. Even though I remember all of them, it's awful. I love the story and like the journey of it. Like La La Land, I enjoyed that a lot. Emma Stone's incredible. And just like imagine not having some of my favorite actors and actresses, like not being able to see their stuff. That would be awful.
Yeah, well, it's like, how did they find the guy who played Harry Potter? What is his name?
Daniel Craig.
Is that who that's who I just said,
no.
dude?
That's
who plays James Bond? That's like Daniel Craig's the guy who plays James Bond. Yeah.
David Radcliffe?
Yeah, David Radcliffe. Like, how did they find him?
Yeah.
Versus how would they find him now?
On the street.
They would find him now by does he have 1 million Instagram followers?
Yeah, you know, they're like, let's find someone we like, right? And they saw him on the street, like, let's get this guy now. They're like, hey, let's go to Instagram, look for people with a few thousand followers, and just see someone who looks good for the part. It's just crazy to me. And it may not be true. That could not be true, and the talent really does shine through, and I'd love for that to be the case. I'd love to be wrong about that. Absolutely. I'd love to be wrong and talent shines through, and Tom Hanks born today, even without any social media, rise to the top. I love it. I hope I'm wrong about it, but I fear that we may lose some of the... that's not just acting. In a lot of fields, that some people who would have been incredible never get the shot because of the time we live in.
I was listening to Lex Friedman has the Artificial Intelligence podcast, and he was talking to some guy who's like super important, and I feel really stupid for not remembering his name because he was one of the guys who super big in machine learning. I believe he's the guy who actually thought of the simulation. I don't know. I listened to like 4 podcasts in the same day from Lex Friedman, so it's like the guests
Yeah.
kind of blend together, you know.
Yeah.
But it's he was saying that there could be people out there today who are as smart as Einstein, like just as brilliant, genius level as Einstein, but they're not presented with a challenge that's on their level that really displays who they are.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And the time and the era and everything, they'll never be presented with a issue that will give them a chance to show their intelligence and talent or anything like that.
Do you think the speed of progress has slowed down?
It feels like it.
It feels like it.
It feels like it. It may not be true.
How do you mean?
So, you know, all the 80s, 90s movies, stuff like that, we're like, we'll have hoverboards in year 2000. We'll have all that. And I'm not saying we should have
They were
that
dead
type of
serious about that shit,
technology.
too.
Yeah.
Like, I talked to
The
my
thing
dad
is,
about
I
that shit.
think-
They were dead serious about that shit. They were not joking. They
I
literally
think-
thought we would have all that stuff.
I think they thought we'd be progressing faster. And we've had still a lot of awesome technology stuff, but like,
Not really.
the level of huge progression is minuscule. And I think that could tie back into the simulation thing, because when you're in a video game, playing a game, the rules are set and they seem in the game arbitrary and dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we can't learn these things because it's literally like we just won't be able to. It's not possible.
Well, another thing this guy brought up was that, so a lot of people think the popular thought with artificial intelligence is that someone will make it and then, boom, it explodes and all of a sudden humans are worthless, right? Well, the counter, that was this guy's belief, and that Lex brought up, was that, well, what if you're missing a piece? Right? What if it's a puzzle, and let's say it's like some sort of Tetris thing, or what is? I don't even remember what Tetris is. Tetris the game where stuff drops down?
Yeah.
And you have to. All right, cool, awesome. I know what I'm talking about. See, like what I said, I'm not good with assigning names to things.
Yeah.
Labeling is not my thing, dude. I'm just like everything is everything. But damn, if I had Darren Sproles, I could have returned that. I saw the window. Would have gone back, pulled back a little bit, gone to the left, and then all the way around, just outside the 50-yard line. But anyways, he was saying that, like, let's say somebody makes this great AI system. Well, the AI system needs all these other tools, right? You can't just go from nothing to Terminator. You can't go from nothing to Terminator. You need to make Terminator. Even in the Terminator idea, they started with something that was not that great, and they got the liquid metal, and then they get the other things.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's not really my idea, but that's the one I'm endorsing currently. Is that, like, there is going to be no huge explosion because we're missing so many other pieces. And, like, that's why we don't have hoverboards right now, right? Because we have certain parts of the technology. Right, we're making Star Trek. We're making Star Trek spaceships, but we don't have Star Trek spacesuits. We don't have Star Trek food. We don't have Star Trek time manipulation.
Exactly.
We don't have Star Trek warping.
The smartest people in the world, I bet they could sit down, make blueprints, and say, okay, this is how we do it. We don't have the technology to do it, but we know how to if we had it.
Well, they even did that. The VR headset was thought of in like 1945.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen those blueprints, but literally, like, the copyright date, the patent date is like 1940s, 1950s for the VR headset. That's current, like the Oculus Rift or whatever. It's like 70 years old. Yeah. So, like what you said right there. Yeah, absolutely.
It just sounds crazy. Yeah. So they like, hey, we know how to do this. Like, we know about it. We just don't have the technology. Maybe when we get the technology, we'll be able to do this. The thing is, like, I don't know if we'll ever be able to get the technology. I don't know if, like, the world will last long enough for us to be able to accomplish half of, like, our goals, like, that are set.
Why? Or how? Whichever one's the better question there.
at no point have I ever had faith in humanity. Just like the mob mentality, I think that everyone slowly gets, and over time, I just realistically, if like someone from the future, like maybe some sort of alien or something like that came down and said, oh yeah, in 100 years, everyone on the planet is dead, I would believe them without a doubt in my mind. I wouldn't question them. Like, yep, we lost all 7-8 billion people we have. I believe it. And like, that's crazy for a huge because we have limited natural resources, and I don't think we'll, like, we may have the idea, hey, we know how we can save ourselves, we just need this technology. I don't think we'll have it in time for us when we need it.
That's not a very economic standpoint. The economic standpoint would be that whatever you need or whatever is going to happen, you go and allow the maximum amount of time. It's like when you plan an infrastructure project. Well, how much money do you have? That's how long it's going to take.
Yeah.
F.
I try to pick that off, you know.
Yeah, I know you're really close too.
Yeah.
I think I threw off my back foot, and that really helped me.
Dude. I don't think it will be war. I mean, there may be more wars that sacrifice a lot of people, but I do not think a war will be able to kill 8 billion people. I don't know if it will be some sort of like, I don't know, like I just think of like all these landfills and stuff like that, and I think over time, eventually, it's just gonna fall apart. Like all the systems we have, like, I just don't think life on Earth is sustainable. Permanently, at least.
Well, are you buying into the limited drinking water thing? Because I don't buy into the only 3% of Earth is limited drinking water. Like, we could definitely convert the oceans if we wanted to. We don't really want to because we don't really need to. And so I see that because like the whole oil thing, like we were completely out of oil, right? Oh God, we're gonna run out of oil by 2025. Oh, fracking, what's this?
Yeah, but
now all of a sudden we have an unlimited, like right now we have an unlimited amount of oil. When are we gonna run out?
See, but that's not what I've been told. At least
what
by,
have you been told?
I've been told by geologists that 2050 is when we'll be out of oil.
Well, when were they saying before we found out about fracking?
I think they were saying like, there are probably reports that it'll be like 2000 be out of oil, but you never know. Like if people are
Al Gore was saying that global warming was gonna have like however many cities underwater by 2010 or something like that. I think even earlier. They were talking about global warming, and like my mom was protesting for global warming in the 70s, bro. They said it was going to be doomdays by the 90s. That shit didn't happen.
Yeah.
Mostly because we found other ways to do the stuff, but
yeah.
I don't know. I have a lot of faith in that the market always provides a solution. I'm a big believer in the market.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back in the 46.
Because I mean, when has the market not provided the solution? It hasn't. I mean, when we needed to win World War II, atom bomb happened. You know, when every single disaster or catastrophic thing, we've always found a way to make it happen.
The offense certainly looking to score some points, but they also need ball security.
Yeah, I see that. I just don't think. I think
and then
I
see back
too much.
When you have those guys. Apparently they're controversial for some reason or whatever, but they've been on the Joe Rogan podcast like 3 or 4 times now, where they were saying that in like Washington, like a couple 10,000 years ago, you used to have like 1,000-foot tidal waves in the state of Washington or some shit like that. And like, well, okay, what are the global warming people saying? Okay, they're saying it's going to be underwater by 10 feet. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
And so I just see it as like, buy land in Montana, bro. Buy Greenland.
Yeah, Montana, Wyoming, Greenland.
Greenland. That really, people got upset about that, dude. The whole we want to buy Greenland thing. Like, like, come on, dude. You think being part of Europe is better than being part of America? Really? Really? Like, we don't want to own you. We just want first rights. We just want to be like...
join Europe.
Well, no, we just want to be the ones, if they're offering you $50 a pound and we're offering you $50 a pound, we want you to choose us. That's all we want. That's all we want.
Yeah.
And we'll give you however much money you want for that.
Yeah.
That's what I saw it as. But, I don't know, not everybody thinks about it from a business perspective, I guess.
No.
Oh, I just wasted that timeout.
That may have been a good timeout, though.
We will see. I doubt it, because you just got the first down.
Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. And they're getting up the middle. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain.
Damn, you're really banking on a touchdown here, aren't you?
10 yards still left.
I am.
A well-executed blitz.
Not like...
Great job by the linebacker.
Yeah.
Maybe the quarterback
I'm assuming this is the last drive of the game either way, basically. I'm not trying to waste time, but, like, I'm trying to play it smart.
Bro!
And that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle. And he made a great tackle. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route catch.
Damn, I don't know, Hobbs. You're a pessimist.
I don't see it that way. I think I'm a realist.
Yeah, but realistically, the market's always provided the solution. And back in the day, we used to have oil. We used to have oil fields that were so bad that if you walked a horse through them, the horse would die. Okay? So, like, we've seen some pretty bad environments. It's like you could walk a horse anywhere in America right now. For quite a while, it's never going to die. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's obviously not, taking into account the carbon dioxide and whatnot, but just as far as the general habits of people, we've become much more clean. I mean, you used to have feces laying around. You used to not be able to walk in the city of London or New York, right? You used to have to wear masks or else you get Ebola. But, like, we've gotten better.
I'm also the type of person that would be very happy if every human died.
Damn it, Hobbs. You and the person I didn't have on this podcast before and didn't upload the video because it wasn't a bad recording both said that exact same thing. And if that's what this goddamn podcast is going to become, then I'm going to have to be the defender of human rights, and I'm not ready to do that.
Thing is, I don't think humans deserve rights.
Damn. I didn't call a play.
Like, I couldn't one.
Again, we'll see the pistol here.
Like, I think nature and everything is so beautiful, and I think humans are the only thing that doesn't belong.
Hobbs, have you ever spent more than 5 hours in the woods?
Yes.
Have you seen the bears?
It's awful in the way of... I would hate to be a part of it, but I think it is more important than humans. Like, when Harambe died? Now, this is not any part of the meme. This is a serious take here. When Harambe died, I was actually upset that they didn't shoot the kid instead of the gorilla.
Damn, bro.
I don't value human life, and we only had a limited number of those gorillas left. I value the gorilla's life more than humans. I would have shot my own son. I would have shot myself.
I doubt it, Hobbs.
The gorilla alive.
I'm gonna doubt it. I'm calling bullshit.
Now, I'm never gonna have a child because
I'm calling bullshit on that too.
I think having a child, like actually creating one, is one of the most selfish things you could ever do. If I were to ever have kids,
why?
It would be adoption only. Well, part of it is because I think every time you have a child, you're robbing a life from an adopted child.
How?
Because because those adopted childs typically have very poor lives and are treated awful. And
yeah, but why is that my problem?
They're born into nothing. It's
Isn't that the fault of their parents?
Yeah, but all humans are garbage.
That seems like too popular of an idea right now. I think it's too popular of an idea.
So, I think having a child is just taking away a good life of a child that is already here. So why are you just...
Oh my god, you bitch! Suck on that with your human-hating self, pussy.
Why are we just adding to overpopulation?
I am L dancing right now. I am L dancing right now. Bro.
See, that's one of the reasons
Take the L, bro.
everyone on Earth needs to die.
What, Fortnite?
But yeah,
Oh, you can still come back.
Whoa, now.
That's what I get for trying to kick. I tried to kick while L dancing. I don't even know why I'm L dancing. There's not even a camera here. Nobody's gonna believe me. Everybody's just gonna say, "Went in your garbage and kicking field goals, bro." Haha. 5 upvotes in my comments.
But yeah, I was mad because I value anything in nature's life above human life because I don't value humans at all.
But what
I'm
do
happy
you eat for food?
I'm happy to live my life. Primarily beef, or not, primarily chicken.
Yeah, so you see, I'd call bullshit right there.
Oh yeah, because I know nothing will change no matter what my opinion is.
Okay, so this is your secret subliminal message that you never plan on taking action, really, because you don't think there's any purpose in taking action.
No, because
You think it'll just kind of work itself out?
I'll never be able to kill every single person on Earth.
Well, I don't think you'd want to.
I would.
That's what all the school shooters say too. But they usually end up crying like pussies. So.
I would never take a life.
Yeah.
But I would be happy if everyone on the planet, including myself, died.
Well, actually, you wouldn't feel anything. There would be no more emotion. Emotions would cease to exist.
I know. Yeah. Cease. It would be done. But.
And also, humans would come back. If you believe in evolution, humans would come back. So, it's kind of a purposeless belief.
Well, I believe evolution is the best explanation for what the world has happened, like what we have. But I also don't know if it's true. Like if I had to say something, I'd definitely say I believe in evolution. But it also could be proved wrong one day.
Could be, yeah.
And this is some I am very strongly atheist.
Huh. Well, it's like, I don't know. I think for anybody who has your point of view, which I think the overwhelming majority of a lot of people, especially vegans, have your shared belief, and that humans are kind of some sort of parasite. I think the best thing they could do is go work in computer science. Because once you can make the simulation, then humans will no longer exist.
I'd be very happy with that.
Well,
like
devote
that.
your life to computer science. Don't throw that left. I didn't know he was coming for a comeback. That was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought he was going long. I was biting long.
I was already hitting the button. So I was like, too late.
Yeah, I was expecting like a level 2 throw. I was going to jump up and pick it. I don't know. It seems to be a very popular idea amongst younger people right now that humans are a parasite, and I think that's kind of something that we've been taught by the commies. But god damn it. But like then again, like conservatives don't exist anymore, so commies kind of won.
And hentai lives on.
Hentai for life, brother. Oh, you're gonna make that too. God damn it.
Yeah. You didn't ice me.
It's not worth it. How long is that? Like 50?
48.
Yeah, you're gonna make that regardless usually.
Yeah, with a good kicker. I mean,
scores a touchdown.
Oh God, lovely. I remember we played an overtime game one time with the new overtime rules updated and everything. So like a field goal doesn't count as a win, but you kick the field goal and you still won.
Yeah, that was awesome. I think that's still a glitch in this game. I think if I kick a field goal here, I will win the game.
It's a possibility, which is the dumbest thing ever, but it's like hilarious.
I'm just not going to kick a field goal.
But yeah, I believe that. So yeah, I still eat meat, and I know how awful like the meat industry is and stuff like that. But like, I would never not eat it. Why? Because I think it tastes good. If it didn't taste good, I wouldn't eat it. I don't like beef. I do like chicken. I'll continue to eat chicken. I'll never stop that because I've had a few fish. I don't think I've ever had like really good fish.
Probably had farm fish.
So I'm definitely open to like continue like trying fish and stuff like that for sure.
Tilapia. The fakest fish in the entire world. It's not a real fish, for anybody who doesn't know that. Google it.
Yeah. Google.
Oh, my Lancer!
Wow. For anyone who doesn't know, Oh My Lantern is the formal of Oh My Lanta. So.
Is it? I just started saying it. I don't know. I heard other people say it. It sounded cool, I think.
Ooh, Oh My Lanta is from The Ringer, where Johnny Knoxville drops his roommate's CD and he picks it up and says, "Oh my gosh, you dropped it." Wait, no, that's actually a different scene. He's like he really likes the lunch lady or something like that, and he says, "Oh my Lanta, you are my woman." Either way, yeah, I know how awful that stuff is, but I'm not going to stop doing it because my not eating meat will not change anything. I don't think anything I do will be able to change anything unless I had the ability to end all human life. Which again, I don't know if I would do because I don't want to be the one to take those lives. Because even though I feel strongly that all humans should not be alive, I know a lot of people feel the other way, and I would never want the power to make that decision for everybody.
There are people who have the power to make that decision, Hobbs.
I know. I'd like to meet them.
They're called computer scientists.
Oh my god.
They're not who you think I was going to say.
Your shit.
No, all I'm saying, dude, is if you make a simulation that's better than real life, no one will want to live in real life anymore. It's obvious. I mean, like, is there an argument against that?
We could do a huge Kool-Aid party. We could do a worldwide Kool-Aid party.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody drinks the Kool-Aid. Oh yeah. I can't even do that shit, dude. They got me eating too much soy out here.
Really bad. I never had soy. At least not directly.
Me either. They told me it doesn't taste like anything, and then I said, why would I eat it? It probably is, dude. There's definitely something in the water here. It doesn't taste good. You have to filter it. Like, you can't drink water out of the sink here. You'll actually die.
Okay. Man.
Yeah, not joking. I mean, I still do it because I'm stupid, but...
But it's your choice.
Oh no!
Oh yes! Yes, you made those moves. Yes,
I didn't make those moves. I swear to God.
You made them. You hit B.
I swear to God, I didn't hit that. I hit B, but I didn't tell him to go all the way back like an idiot. This is so sad.
Are you talking about your life?
No, that I backed up right there. I don't know, dude. Lifr Podcast Season 3. This one will be interesting.
It's gonna be a good one. I like it.
I think the whole season will be pretty, it'll be different, I can say that.
Are you gonna continue just doing it live?
Fuck it!
We'll do it live!
Maybe. I don't know. I'll do whatever I feel like. Whatever's most real at the time.
How do we
Trying to keep it real. If it's not real, it's not Lifr.
Issue info.
R.I.P.
You know, this stuff being works at like Rogers schools now.
Really? I saw you and I were the only ones that liked her LinkedIn thing.
Right? Yeah, no, I was like, someone like her stuff, please.
Oh, my lantern. I'm the Saints.
What a play, dude.
66 yards on the ground. And Freeman,
Can I kick a field goal?
was a surprise exactly.
No,
I have
you
a
can't
feeling
kick
that
a
if I
field
kick a field
goal.
goal, it's going to give you the... I have a feeling if I kick a field goal, it's just going to give you the ball back. Lose on some shit.
I can neither confirm nor deny the modifications made to this rule system.
Yeah, you pulled
I would
something
recommend
from
you go for the
change
touchdown.
I am gonna go for it. But like on fourth down, I'm gonna kick a field goal.
I wouldn't.
If I get to a fourth down.
Just saying I wouldn't.
Yeah. I know your reverse psychology stuff.
I would doubt it.
Oh no, I don't know all of it. Or do I? Oh! Okay. I was terrified of a fumble there.
I wasn't. This is not looking good, boys.
This could be a very, very bad play call. Oh, it looks like I clicked on the wrong play. I don't like that play either, though. Actually, yes, I do. No, I don't.
Steps away to his left. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew.
You don't kick a field goal.
Looked like he might have had a
Boo.
signal for another
Pussy.
You icing me?
They'll be left with just one
I wonder if it actually
remaining
ices me.
OT.
It ices me.
Try here for
Good. It should. Because you're a pussy.
I wonder if I made it.
And that changes everything here in OT. It's a possible disaster there. It's an empty
Oh,
possession,
baby.
and there's no
Oh,
rush to
my
get
lantern.
possession in the first drive of overtime.
I just lost this game. And the
Sucks
thing
to
is,
suck.
I could have scored a touchdown. I could have scored a touchdown
Told
when
you,
I had
dude.
that Freeman run, but I got showboaty.
Told you, bro.
In the thing that we definitely didn't record before this, when you said you'd kill my family if I like did the showboat touchdown again, it came back.
I
to
didn't
bite
say
me right now.
that.
This is my family dying. No, allegedly.
Oh, no,
That
no,
happened.
no. Yeah. Oh, since we didn't do that, I don't think I talked about... Did I talk about my dream from last night and this in my second day of sober October?
You definitely
think-
didn't talk about True Lies. No, it wasn't True Lies.
Whatever it was. Yeah,
Stranger-
anyways, for the people... I've never seen Stranger Things, right? Because everybody else has seen it, and if everybody else is doing it, why should I do it? It doesn't make sense. But... Oh, that's a lie. But anyways, so my dream was this. I got a call from someone who's like on the Stranger Things ranch, right? So think like Dr. Phil's ranch, but it's the Stranger Things ranch. And they wanted to interview me. I don't really know why. But I showed up, and that's a lie. And it was just a really big mansion. And the guy who's like in charge of the thing is kind of old guy with a white beard and relatively young skin for his age. He must have been in like his 70s or 80s, but he had a really nice suit. And so he asked me what I wanted to do, and for some reason I was allowed to do whatever I wanted. And so I said I wanted to get fitted for some new suits. And
a lot of them.
yeah, no, we decided on like 9 or 10, and like literally we went through like all 9 or 10. Like, I'm not joking. It was a pretty lengthy dream, anyways, but I took off my Nike slides before I went up the stairs, and for some reason there was a large amount of girls there who, for some reason, were of legal age. Like, they were in their 20s, but they looked like they were like 16, and that was really weird, and I was super uncomfortable about it. And that's a lie! That's a fucking lie! But anyways, yes, there's all these weirdly they all looked underage.
You're gonna ice me?
Yeah. So they all looked underage, but they were definitely all of age, and it was weird. One of them took my Nike slides, and the odd part about that is I used to have a pair of Nike slides, and I haven't had a new one since they got stolen. So
This chaotic.
I think it was somebody who, I don't know. Maybe I saw the person who stole my Nike slides. I can tell you, I don't like you, and you look like you're underage. So suck it. I don't actually, but fuck.
Wait, don't wait.
No, it's cool. They're actually no, I didn't say that. Fuck. I'm still uploading this. I don't care, dude. Whatever. God damn it. I'm so upset. But anyways, yeah. So the Stranger Things.
Especially
Stop watching
for-
that show, guys. They all look underage. I figured that I thought about that between a few hours ago and now. All the Netflix people look underage. So like, you guys are all creeps, and that's all for this podcast, honestly. Thanks, Hobbs, for coming on. We're bouncing
For the
out.
people who cared, you just watched a good game of Madden. You're welcome.
That was dog shit.
Yeah.
The
That
fact
was a-
that I lost
that
that
was
game was absurd, to say the least. And I think I should be given reparations. Okay, that's all. Goodbye.
Thanks for having me.